Hey everyone, so one of the things we're trying to do with this series is help decode complex movement patterns. So what we're doing is taking the chest to bar pull-up and asking ourselves, am I making the chest to bar pull-up, already a difficult movement, one that we like very much, more difficult because I'm lacking key ranges of motion? So people are like, yeah, that seems reasonable. But what are those ranges of motion? How would I know, Kelly, if I have? So we speak in the language of archetypes. And that means these are the bookends of position. And you can sort of speak in different languages around that. So this is overhead, but this is still overhead, and this is still overhead, and this is still overhead, right? But we're looking at the complete overheadedness. So guess what? Two simple tests around our archetypes to assess whether or not you are working harder than you need to, which means you're leaking force or compensating, which can cost you reps and power. So check this out. I got Diane Fu over here. She's going to throw these dumbbells over her head. Start position for the chest to bar pull-up is overhead. So if she has these overhead, I should see thumbs backwards, rib cage down, elbows straight, and holding these like hammers. And we should be able to do that effortlessly. So if the elbows bend or they start to flare, what we start to see is, hey, I've got an incomplete position. So in that backswing, I'm gonna start to have to compensate, and that's gonna be more expensive. Doesn't mean you're necessarily gonna get injured. That's not what we're talking about here. We're just saying that, hey, when you have less effective positioning and you add speed and load and fatigue, you're gonna be compensating, and when you lose position, you're gonna lose power, right? So having a full overhead archetype is a great way to start. Ditch that. Now, secondarily, the second position that's crucial is that we're going from overhead archetype pulling into something that we call the press shape, right? The bottom position of the bench press, which is a combination of what we call short lever shoulder extension. So long lever shoulder extension, short lever, just the elbow is bent. So if Diane's on her stomach, and this, by the way, is where we see most people have problems with their chest to bar pull-ups. Because guess what? If you're struggling for this shoulder extension, somehow your shoulders never get out of the way and you can't get the bar to your chest. So what Diane does is she actually keeps her head light on the ground. She's gonna make a couple fists with her hands. And in that position, that's like her grabbing the bar, all she has to do without slamming her head into the ground is lift her fist straight up off the ground and hold that for some breaths. So notice she can easily clear the fist. She's not flaring out. And what you'll see is that when people are struggling in this for position, they either can't lift the fist off the ground or they start to do this kind of crazy thing. And look what's happening. They're just moving away from that stable position. And notice that the elbow over the wrist, same position as chest to bar, same position as bottom position of the bench press, rowing, etc. This press shape doesn't mean she's pushing from this position, but she's got to be able to push and pull into and out of this position. So quick assessments around improving your chest to bar pull-ups. Do I have full overhead? We're always working on that. And can I easily get this hand lift-off test on the ground? And again, fists lift off, no problem, taking a breath. She can breathe and own that position. This should be easy. This isn't even crazy full range of motion. This is just the minimum required. Any position where you're working on shoulder extension in this press archetype and potentially even the rotational components and the hang shape will improve your chest to bar contact. That makes it less expensive to hit the shapes you're after, which means more reps, less time, and less fatigue because you're not going to have to work in less effective positions for the long haul. So as you break down these movements, look at the start position, finish position, quick test to make sure you've got full shapes there, a few mobilizations to improve that, test, retest. Let us know how it goes.